Okay, so I'm doing my ELA honors report for the second quarter. So I read World War II heroes, so I did my essay on like World War II. So basically, what started World War II was like, so Hitler, the leader of Germany, wanted to keep like expanding his territory and military like expansion. So he didn't want us to take Poland, like they were right next to each other, Germany and Poland. So he bombs Poland in 1939, and then he uses the Blitzkrieg strategy to like run through Poland like really quickly, basically. So like basically you use like mobile vehicles like tanks and like armored cars, and he basically just kept mobile and he kept going and he kept pushing through enemy lines, overwhelming the enemy. And then Poland, he was slowly pushing Poland back. Like, so Germany is my thumb, and then like Poland is my hand. So like it was like pushing them back, and then the Soviet Union just jumped in from like this is hard to explain. Okay, so you see that's Poland. Right here is Germany, and like right here is like Poland. Basically, Germany is coming in from right there, pushing them back, and then Poland just jumped in and went like right there. I mean, the Soviet Union jumped in from like right there, and then Poland surrendered to Germany, and then Germany and the Soviet Union signed a peace treaty, and then so so like a lot of people died in World War II. Like America lost 417,000 people. The total countries the total country deaths were 15 million, so that's a lot of people. And there were like 40 million civilian deaths. 45 million. Sorry. That's a lot of people. So at like when Germany first bombed Poland, we weren't in the war. Well, the war had just started. So descendants, the Poland surrendered. Oh, by the way, Germany had the most at the end of the war. Germany had the most deaths, 5,500,000. That's a lot of people. Okay, so basically, when we got into the war, what started the war was the attack on Pearl Harbor. Basically, Japan was trying to invade China because, like Germany, they wanted to expand. So they tried to expand into their neighbors, China. So we were supplying oil with China, and they didn't like that. So they set out like a bunch of surprise attacks, different places in the world, and Pearl Harbor was one of them. It was Pearl Harbor's in Hawaii. We just celebrated the 75th anniversary. Basically, the Japanese did a surprise attack. Pearl Harbor was so far away from the Japanese territory, nobody thought they would attack there. But we had so many ships there and so many barely unguarded stuff, like planes and all that stuff. The Japanese rolled in with like their like over 350 planes and like submarines in the water, and we did not know. Actually, we saw him on the radar, and this guy, I read this in the book that I read for the quarter. This guy, he called us superior because he saw like movement on his radar, and he was like, "Oh, it's just American planes doing their routine fly," but it was really Japanese, so they could have been ready, but the superior is dumb. That's the summary of the story. That superior should have actually investigated it. But okay, so the two sides in the war mainly were the Axis powers and the Allied powers. So the Axis were like largely consisted of Italy, Germany, and Japan. They all believed in the same things and like to grow their military, to grow their territory, to grow their military to destroy Soviet communism. They all wanted to do that. And then opposing them were the Allied powers. The Allied powers were the U.S., Great Britain, and the Soviet Union. And we ended up winning the war, so I mean, that's good. So yeah, goodbye.